Hey guys, DJ from PTA. I'm gonna go over the stock with Govx today. This was the winner, or the one that was worth talking about on September 9th. Um, didn't trade it, saw there was a good pattern or whatnot, just wasn't on the desk that day. But I always try to keep you abreast on the patterns and different things that you should be looking for when it comes to different stocks. Um, so this particular stock in general, GOVX is something we played in the past, a former runner. So when you see something that's a former runner, that's something we teach in our classes, that whenever you see a stock that is a former runner or something that you ran before, you keep track of that. So certain stocks, you look at them and they make certain moves. It's not no secret that this can do that again. So it's one of those things that when you've been trading for a while, certain names, certain key things is what keeps you glued into a particular stock. So what I want to do is kind of show you how this one played out, and how you could have played it. So this line here, this gray line is representing previous week's high, which was right here. We made that mark, and then we had us a nice pull in. So let's go down to the 5 minute. Didn't have a lot of volume pre-market, but then we got this big rip or pull. So technically the volume didn't really creep into within the first 30 minutes of the day or whatever. And then we had a slight little pullback and then a continuation. I always try to look for that area of interest when you get a nice pullback. We didn't really have a pullback on this. So this was pretty much a rally up off of no volume. This created the first leg, and then we had this nice little pullback here. Now, the one thing about this stock, you have to pay attention to the price action. One of the things that I looked the key at was probably this 133 area. As you can see, it tried to break down from it a couple of times, and then it ended up respecting it. So zooming in on the 1 minute, this will probably give you a better confirmation of what was going on. We had a little bit of janky price action in the beginning. Wasn't a lot of volume, and then it kind of picked up. I think once it got on everybody's radar, this is why everybody was taking a look at it. Once it held this 133, this is where you would have got interested in it. Maybe somewhere here, or even on a higher time frame, you would have got interested at a different price. So let's back up to the 30 minute. You can see here that this was our first red candle, so that kind of marked the key area. Somewhere around here is where all the shorts were sitting in this area. As it pulled back, we then reclaimed. So I would probably say the point of entry was probably about right there. So probably most traders got in somewhere around that 148, 150 area. So let's break this down to the 5 minute, and as you can see, that's about right where it took off at. We can break off into the 1 minute. You can see that it pretty much played this area, and then as soon as it started to peek through it, you could at least risk. Let's put this green. And then entry there, even a risk to here was only 7 cents. So you had a 7 cent risk, and it clearly went 37 cents. So you could have really did a very good play even if you got in about here 35 cents. So it was a good risk to reward. If you really had it tight, caught it on the breakout, you're looking at literally about a 3 cent risk for a 34 cent gain. So that was a good, realistically, 10-to-1 move on a low float that it rotated this float 3 times, so it was bound to make that move and really take off. That's something that you want to look at when it comes to trading. You want to look at those key factors. Is it news? What's the catalyst? Where is it moving? Why is it moving? Where's the price action? When did the volume step in? Those are the things here that you can see the volume stepped in here, and then they pulled it down, and then you can see as soon as it get there, the volume picked up on the opposite trade. So you always want to take a look at those keys: price, volume, time of the day. As you can see, this didn't break out to, around noon, 1 o'clock, noon time almost. So it's a little bit of a early push, but as we got later in the day, it kind of went sideways. So this is one of those things where it probably unwind. Although something kicked in and it unwind itself at that point in time. So key times: price action, volume, key areas. As you can see, the 165 was a key area off of the daily. It took off, went to 185. So you had these key areas, price action, volume, all playing a play when it comes to how a stock move. And the biggest thing, like I said, is really, taking it from a higher time frame and really seeing the pattern, really seeing where the stock is going. So right on this 30-minute, you had your red candle and it confirmed your pullback, and then it slowly started creeping up, got over that 148 area, and just took off and never really returned from there. So solid trade, solid play altogether. Definitely something that, with much practice and studying, you will definitely understand and get more of it. I want to go over the SPY as well, because I know a few people have reached out to me and asked me to go over the SPY and kind of see what the SPY was doing as well. As I told you guys, I was looking for that drop. We got it below this, and now we're coming back up to a previous week high. So this is one of those key areas that it is going to continue to pull down, or it may pull back a little bit and continue on. Numbers just and data is just not there showing that the market wants to go higher. As you can see, we had some very downward pressure over the last couple of days into last week. So the market is reacting, and for some traders, it probably got chopped up right here into this price action. But if they rescaled in, they did very well, very, very well coming into the month of September and getting that flush. Last couple of days have been getting this nice little bounce, but again, I still look at it as the overall trend is down. So you want to wait for it to get to a key area, previous week high, maybe a key area over here where you can see a pullback. So allow the stock to pull back up to a key area, or drop below a key support, or hit a key resistance, and allow it to pull back and continue to fall. I don't see the market rebounding back to any highs or anything to the end of the year. But again, I play off price action versus my emotions and feelings, and that's just my thought altogether. So the biggest thing is that making sure you're on the right side of the trade, protecting yourself, cutting your losses quickly, and those things, because right now things can move very quickly against you. So, all right, guys, if you have any questions, concerns, leave it in the comment section. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and that notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. And as I tell old traders and new, stay studying and stay focused.